Oh, the Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how to get on.
You don't know your account? What's up? What's
Nah.
up? What's up?
What's up, people? How y'all doing?
You don't know your.
I had brought it with me,
What?
the book, so I can log on.
Oh,
I just
okay.
have
Go
to
get
get
it.
Okay, I'll get
Let's
it.
wait for some viewers.
All right.
What's up? It's your girl Adoch. We are here in beautiful South Florida. We are in Hollywood, Florida right now. We are welcoming you all the way from South Africa, Amalfi Town, South Africa, Amalfi Kings, South Africa,
Yes.
from Maftown magazine. I will be interviewing the one and the only Edwin Sheppard, and we're going to be talking about his documentary Blindfolded, how they hid my history from me. So we have him coming along in the scene. Hey,
Hey,
what's
what's
up,
up?
our viewers?
What's up?
How you doing?
Oh, that's Paul. Paul's in the States.
Hi, Paul. How
What's
you
up,
doing?
Paul? What's going on?
Thanks for logging on. So we're going to ask you a few questions.
Mhm.
Did you want to log into while
Yeah,
we, let's
yeah, we
while
could
we're
do.
waiting for
Yeah,
some
we could
viewers?
do that.
Let's log
Yeah,
into.
we could do that.
And for all those joining us, thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending us your afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time that's there. Hello, hello, hello. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them on there, and I'll try to get them. It is a short sitting. We have a short span, a short time span, but we'll try and ask as many questions as possible. And yeah, you almost there?
Almost there. I haven't, I don't memorize these things by heart. It's so. There we go.
Apologize.
We're back.
We may have some callers interrupt because they don't know that we are using his phone. We do apologize for that, but yeah,
Okay.
no, log into yours.
I am trying to log into mine. It's just, taken by now. Oh, you know what? I need to log off and
No,
log out.
listen. Anyhow,
Okay.
Hold
We'll
on.
figure
There
it.
we go.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. That's it?
yeah,
Okay.
technical
That's
difficulties.
yours, though.
Nope, just change your name.
Okay.
We're trying to get his viewers on as well, so we do apologize for the delay. So I have been blessed enough to host his original when we watched the documentary, and the documentary is absolutely amazing. Like, it's so raw, it's so uncut. So I guarantee you, if it does come to your city, or if it does come to your town, or if you have an opportunity to go out and watch this documentary, it is something that you definitely want to and need to watch. So make sure that you follow him on social media at Edwin Sheppard. Edwin Sheppard on all his social media, right?
Yes.
All
Edwin
his social
Sheppard,
media, to find out when it's coming to a city near you. And Edwin, how you feeling?
It's a little hot, so if you see me like wiping myself, it's because I'm sweating. So it's hot. We're in South Florida. It's
hot.
very close to our summertime here. So I'd like to thank for all the viewers in the States as well as South Africa and Botswana. I see Flo. I see quite a few people on both sides. So that's really exciting to see that.
Right. So now that the documentary is done, now that that they have watched it and they have seen, let's get your Instagram up there. Now that they have seen your documentary, and now that it's out and you had them see it, how do you feel?
I'm still overwhelmed by all the attention
Right.
that I've received from it. Everything's been coming so fast. So since the premiere,
Right.
it's just like everyone's been calling me. A lot of cities, a lot of places, a lot of friends want me to bring it to their city. So everything's been happening so fast, and I haven't been able to keep up. So,
Right.
but it's exciting. It's an exciting ride. You're part of the ride with
I'm
me.
blessed to do that,
So
yes.
yeah, so it's just been a lot, but I'm really excited about everything.
Now, for the viewers who haven't seen it, who are anticipating watching it, what can you tell them about your experience?
My experience in South Africa and Botswana is just all the perceptions that we grew up in the United States on, all the negative narrative that we got about Africa as a continent in general.
Right.
And just being able to see those two countries in South Africa and Botswana, everything that they put out there in the media to us, they're pretty much all lies.
Right.
So my film shows the beautiful side of what's never shown to us in the United States.
Now, prior to going on this trip, what did you expect, if you had any expectations?
You know what? I didn't have any expectations. I was
Okay.
just coming in, just kind of like blindfolded by the whole
Right.
thing, to say the least. So I didn't have any expectations. I've done my research in areas that I was gonna stay, areas that I wanted to visit, what I wanted to see, and I just kind of let everything just flow from
Okay.
there.
And I ask this question to most people who travel down to the continent for the first time,
Hmm.
anywhere in the continent, anywhere in the 54 countries in the continent.
Hmm.
Um, how did you feel when you touched down?
You know, I was angry.
Really?
Yes, I was very angry when I arrived because because the whole vision of what's been put out in Africa has been so negative. So you know, I was thinking I was gonna land in some third world country where the airport was gonna be small and
Right.
everything. And when I landed in OR Tambo, which is in Johannesburg, you know, it's their airport rivals with the airports here in the United States. It looked just like Miami International. It
Right.
looked just like, you know, LAX and Los Angeles. And it just made me angry because I was like, man, they lied to us the whole time. They told us that, you know, the continent of Africa is such a poor continent of
Right.
people,
Right.
and all you're going to see is poverty. So to land there and to see most of the people who were getting off the plane weren't black, they were white.
Right.
So I was like, wow, we've really been lied to. And part of that is in the film where, you know, where I land and I show, you know, the how beautiful the airport is.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that I mean, I'm from Uganda, so I know how
Yeah.
our
Shout out to
our
Uganda.
shout out to Uganda, our culture accepts people. How
Hmm.
were you accepted being an American or a Haitian American or a Black American coming into the continent?
I was accepted with open arms. Everybody accepted me with love. I see Mofini, which is actually he runs Maftown magazine, so big shout out to him, and allows, you know, allowing us the opportunity to film live
Right.
from South Florida. Everyone embraced me with love. I didn't feel any, you know, I didn't feel anything like that made me feel that I wasn't embraced.
Which
So.
is really interesting
Hmm.
because when I first moved to South Florida, a lot of them had met a real African,
Yeah.
meaning one who has been born and lived
Hmm.
in Africa.
Hmm.
And I was told that Africans don't like us. So, and I was dumbfounded. I was like, "What do you mean? We treat you like royalty." So it's really interesting that you would say that going back,
Yeah.
that you would, even if it's not, I haven't been to South Africa or
Hmm.
to Botswana,
Hmm.
that you would be received in, I know you would have been received in
Yeah.
that way. So it's good to hear, for them to hear that it's okay to come home. It's okay
Yeah.
to come home.
Yeah.
It
It
really
is.
is
It
okay to
is.
come home.
I mean, the love that I got was just unmeasurable, and just to see, just, you know, I networked with a lot of people prior to me getting there, and
Okay.
I think that that whole transition and being able to meet those people and for them to introduce me, because they introduced me as family.
Right.
So I think, I don't know if the experience would have been different if I didn't network with those people prior on social media,
Right.
but it was just a love all across the board. I mean, you know, traveling there, you look just like everyone else. You know, it's not until, you know, they hear my accent, knowing
Right.
that I was from America, that, you know, I get treated they're a little better, you know, per se, because I'm from America,
Right.
and you don't see Black Americans that visit on that side of the continent or the country. So it's something that's very, very rare, believe it or not.
Wow. So we have, this is unlike any other documentary I've seen. And I know that this interview is a little bit different because the first time I watched it, I didn't
Yeah,
really have
yeah.
a clue on what was
Hmm.
to come. So tell me about tell me about your interaction with the kids.
My interaction with the kids, shout out to Lidumang Senior Secondary High School in Botswana. My interaction with them was amazing. It was actually the highlight of, of my trip. Just being able to see them and speak to them and share my experience of being a Black American, being Haitian American,
Right.
and being able to share those views and the perception that I grew up with, and hearing their perception as well, which was very profound
Right.
because they know the perception that America in general, and at least what the media has
Right.
put out about Africa, they know the perception, and for them to speak on that was like wonderful. And they were like truly like kids at heart, which is kind of like the sad thing when I think about the children in the U.S.
Right.
because I think we push the kids in the United States to be adults so fast, and I really saw like the kids in the students in Lidumang, they were just real like children at heart,
Right.
you know, which we don't get from our kids here, at least our high school kids here in the U.S.
Speaking of our high school kids or our high school kids here in the U.S.,
Mhm.
you also had a feature of some of the high school
Yes,
kids here. Tell us about that.
I had a feature with my alma mater of Miami Central Senior High, go Rockets, and just being able to be with them and hearing their perception. And what was really big about them is hearing the perception that they have. Like this is most of the students there is graduating this year, class of 2019. And you know, I'm an old man. I'm 45, and I graduated in 1991. So it really hurt me to know and hear that the same perception that they have of Africa is the same perception that I have, and I graduated almost 30 years ago.
Right.
So I think it's really sad that the perception haven't been changed, and I'm hoping that the film changes that perception. I'm hoping everyone open their eyes, and I'm hoping this is kind of like the bridging the gap between Black America and Africa, and bringing us together.
Awesome. Now, you didn't only speak to the kids. You also had a chance to visit local businesses
Yes,
there.
yeah.
So tell me about your experience with the businesses compared to the businesses here, or just the businesses there and the challenges they may face.
Speaking of business, I'm actually wearing one of the shirts. This is Urban Soul, which is based in Gaborone, Botswana.
Awesome.
Big shout out to Molifi, who's the owner and CEO of Urban Soul. He's doing a wonderful job. He's actually featured in the film Blindfolded. So, so if you guys are ever, this is my shameless plug for him. If you guys are in Botswana, he does have a location. I can only remember the Riverwalk and I think the Airport Junction. But make sure you check him out. This is a shirt that I personally bought from him. Really great guy. Hopefully he's able to see this. But he travels a lot. He travels in the U.S. He's very well known in his area and his town. And one of the challenges I know that he faced is that looking at his store rivals with Foot Locker, Simon's, which is one of the shoe places we have here
Right.
in South Florida, and it looks just like if you saw the pictures that I posted, it looked just like any other
Right.
store.
Right.
And when he shows it to people, as far as investors, people don't believe.
Right.
They don't actually believe that's a store in Africa, which is sad because it makes it difficult for him to try to get investors because they might think he's scamming or lying or he's showing other pictures, but it's his actual store, and it's
Right.
an amazing store. You know, he's a product of his brand.
Oh wow. Which is important.
Yeah, which is very, very important. And I just think it's sad that, you know, people view that, you know, and that's hindering him from growth.
Right.
Is because of negative perception.
Right.
Perception that's not true.
That's true. Now, you guys out there, can you hear us properly?
If you guys can hear us, let us know.
Yeah, give us a
Sound
one.
check. I see people coming on, so please
There too.
let us know
That's
if you guys
your
can
Instagram?
hear us clearly on Instagram and hear us on Maftown. If you can just type something and let us know that you guys hear us.
Awesome.
Good. Okay, good.
And
good,
if you
good,
have
good.
any questions, please feel free. We'll take a pause and we'll ask some questions on your end. So now that you've been back, are you planning to go visit any other countries in the continent?
Yes, I am. I'm actually in the works of traveling to Ghana
Okay.
as early as next month.
Right.
Yes, as early as next month, because they contacted me
Oh, wow.
in regards to the film.
That is
And
amazing.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's in the works. They probably might see it before I get to South Africa and Botswana. But
Okay.
I have a very close friend of mine who's from Miami. She's Haitian. and she's married. Her husband is from Ghana, and
Okay.
they're having their baby naming ceremony
Okay.
next month, and they asked me to be a part of that.
Oh,
And by me
congratulations.
traveling there, I'll be able to show my film. So I've already had the owner of the movie theater contact me, and we've been on
Won't
WhatsApp.
he do it?
Yeah, yeah,
Won't he
yeah.
do
So
it?
it's like I said, it's been a lot going on. It's been really, really, really crazy.
Are
Yeah.
you planning on filming and maybe having a part two, the
Yes,
Ghana side
yes,
of it?
I
Like,
am.
is this a
Yeah,
shameless plug?
yeah.
Like-
They want it. They have a few people. Big shout out to Halima, who's been a huge inspiration to me. Who's in Ghana? She's from Nigeria, and she's been assisting me on that side, as well as my friend's husband,
Okay.
Basil Telfer, who's from Ghana. A lot of people have been, and he was there.
Right.
So a lot of people are getting involved. So that's just been really, really exciting and crazy about that.
So now you mentioned in Ghana you're going to baby naming ceremony, which I've been to a few of them,
Yes.
and they're absolutely
Okay.
amazing. So hopefully you'll capture that. But you also captured something special in this documentary. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to wait for them
You
to
wanna?
watch it?
I mean, we could probably tease it a little bit. We don't want to give too much. What you had in mind?
What did
Anything?
did you experience any cultural events? Like, I know you said you went to the store, you went to the school, but did you
Any
experience
cultural
any
events?
cultural, something that was
That there. I can't mention that. That's in the film.
Okay.
I'm really trying. I'm trying to see. You okay? I'll say this, and since we're on, this is Maftown online magazine, and we are recording live from South Florida. We're in
Right.
Hollywood, Florida, which
Right.
is just outside Miami. I was able to attend the Mahi King Jazz Festival in
wow.
Mahi King, South Africa. I
Okay.
had an amazing time. I was able to meet wonderful people there. The city itself, I just really had a great time there. Anthony Hamilton was he was the international, he was the
Okay.
headline. But I had the opportunity to meet a lot of people from the media in Mafeking, which was amazing. And I had to drive. I stayed in Gaborone in Botswana, and I had to drive, so it was a challenge going through the borders between Botswana and South Africa. That was like the only challenge. But just being there and being in that festival, and that festival is very similar to our festival we just had last month in Jazz in the Gardens in
Right.
Miami Gardens. And it seemed so similar. It was almost like I was home, even though I
Right.
was so far away from home, but I still felt at home.
okay?
So being in that jazz festival, seeing the wonderful artists, and big shout out to Saritsi and the natives who perform, who's based out of Gaborone, Botswana. Just being there and being part of that festival in the media, being able to just interview people and being able to network with people is such a beautiful thing.
Right.
Just to see that cultural part of it is
Right.
something that we don't have in the States. So that I can share and say that was just like another highlight of my trip. It was actually my last day.
Wow.
Yeah, before leaving to head back home.
Now that one it's really not a teaser because it is on your social
Yes,
media.
yes, it
Edwin
is.
Sheppard,
Yes,
and
it
that's
is.
where the young ladies were dancing on the stage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So make sure that if you're not, make sure you follow Edwin Sheppard on all social media platforms because he has some pictures, just little teasers of the documentary, of what's there to see. If you haven't seen it, it's a must see. Now, is there any questions do we see any questions?
We
that
have. If
maybe
you guys have any questions, I see we have on both Instagram. If you guys have any questions to myself or my beautiful host Adoch, if you have any questions, please feel free. I guess we're kind of opening a line of communication from here and there.
Now, as they're typing the questions, because it does take a little bit of time to type.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
I have two upcoming projects.
Okay.
Both I can't mention.
We can mention Atlanta though.
We can mention Atlanta. We are doing a premiere in Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
on Saturday, May 4th, which you'll be attending as well. And we do have a question. And that's basically we're looking to go to different cities and whatnot. But right now we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, Saturday, May 4th at the Plaza Theater off of Ponce de Leon. And
Okay.
we're looking at Chicago, Philadelphia, New York, and
Yes.
coming back to South Florida before going to on that side to
Okay. Now, I believe Paul asked,
yeah.
when you're in Ghana, are you going to visit any other countries?
I do plan on visiting any country, and I hope they can hear me because I know we have the sound of the
The
train,
train.
the train. So if I need to repeat,
Oh,
we can wait. We can wait for the train to pass through. This is one of those long freighter trains. We
Yeah,
do
I
have a
know.
question. I see someone.
When will you be back in South Africa? So
Okay.
that's the second question. Can you
Okay.
guys hear us?
So if you can hear us,
We can
let us
continue,
know.
or
We can
we'll wait
continue.
for the train.
Yeah, the train. We'll let the train go. But okay, so Paul asked, while in Ghana, will you visit other countries? I do. I want to pull off, if I can. I want to pull off Togo, which is a neighboring country to Ghana, and I also would like to take a flight to Nigeria, which is a very very short flight. I feel a strong connection with Nigerians, especially with so many visiting here in the United States. So I haven't really made the decision if I'm gonna go to Abuja or Lagos, but I'm looking at those two countries, Nigeria and Togo.
Were you mistaken for a Nigerian when you went
I
back
was
home?
mistaken for a Nigerian the entire time of my trip. Everywhere I went, everybody thought I was Nigerian. I had one person even say, "Why is that Nigerian trying to sound American?"
Oh,
And I'm like,
wow.
"I'm American. I was born in the States." So a lot of people thought I was Nigerian. I see Chinky ask a question. When you're back in South Africa, I'm looking to do the premiere as early as July. I'm aiming for July. It was made and it kind of moved because everybody else wanted it, so I definitely wanted to show it here in the States before I go on that side. So we're looking at a July, August. If it was up to me, we would be there next month. But
Right.
with everything going on, it's probably July, August is probably when I'll be back on that side to show the premiere, and the places that's in line on that side would be Cape Town, South Africa, Joburg, South Africa. We're also looking at doing a special presentation in Mafeking, South Africa, and to round it off would be Habadone, Botswana.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, do you feel that your mission from this documentary, what you had put out for the documentary, was accomplished? Or is there still work to do?
It's still work to do.
Okay.
It's still a lot of work. There's still a lot of bonding we need to do as a people, and I think doing that documentary and having people in the States liking this page, being able to see,
Right.
you know, Africans on that side, just to see the names of both people in the United States and people in Africa, I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think that's the progress that we're building right now.
Right. I mean, it was, I can't even describe the documentary. I'm trying not to talk about it because but I think ever since I saw the document, it shifted something inside
Mhm.
me. So I'm extremely grateful and honored to not only be a part of your team as a host and
Thank
as your
you.
support system, but to be part of this movement, because we do really need to take the blindfold off
Yeah.
people.
Yes, we
And
do.
I think that what has happened is that it's that divide and conquer. If we unite as Black Americans and and Africans and African Americans and all, if we combine, we can be so powerful. So what you are doing is so remarkable,
Thank
and I
you.
applaud
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate
And
it.
congratulations
Appreciate it.
on
Thank
this
you so much.
project.
Appreciate it.
I know that there are some challenges. What
Mhm.
challenges do you face that we as a people can hold you up?
The challenges is basically just communication. I think through social media it makes things a lot easier, but we still, just to let you guys know, in Africa, especially South Africa and Botswana, because those are the two countries that I visited, there's still a negative perception about Africa. And we still get the negative commercials. We
Right.
still get the negative feedback on it. So I think if there's some way, I have something very special. I don't want to. I'm not gonna put that out in the universe. I have something very special that I like to do.
Gotta protect that.
I have to protect that.
Yeah.
So I'm aiming to do it possibly the end of 2020 going into 2021. But it's something very special that I plan on doing to change that perception and to bridge the gap between our brothers and sisters here in America and Africa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I believe that's our time.
That is our
Do we have any
time.
more questions?
If
Last
you
call
have
for
any
questions?
questions, last call for questions before we
questions.
end. I know we got people. They do hear us loud and clear on
Awesome.
Instagram. It doesn't matter if you guys
Yeah.
want to shoot one last question to myself or my beautiful host Adoch. Feel free. If not, I know it's
And
kind of late.
While
on
they're
that side.
doing that,
yeah.
and while they're typing,
Mhm.
where can they find you once again on social
They
media?
you guys can find me on social media. Feel free to send me a friend request. I do accept friend requests. I don't take long and all that. At Edwin Sheppard, that's spelled EDWINSHEPPARD. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under the same handle. Feel free to shoot me a message, say hello, and that's how you'll be able to find me. If you want to follow everything Blindfolded, please use the hashtag Blindfolded Africa. I know a lot of people have been using Blindfolded,
Okay.
but you need to do a hashtag Blindfolded Africa, one word, and you'll be able to follow everything Blindfolded that I've posted from the time that I made the first announcement in July 16, 2018 up until today.
That's awesome. And I'm currently taking a social media fast, but as soon as I'm back onto social media, you can follow me at Adoch, which is my name, Adoch. It's just that, Adoch, Adoch. But you can also find me on Edwin's pages. He links me to all of those,
Yes,
so
I
you
do.
can find me as soon as I'm done this social media fast. I will be back live on social media. So I believe that there's no more questions.
Okay, no more questions.
Once
That's
again,
it.
it's
All
been
right.
an honor and a blessing. Thank you for hosting us.
All right, thank
all
you,
the way
thank
from
you.
South Africa, and hope to see you guys soon.
All right.
We love you.
All right, love you back. Thank you, Maftown Online Magazine. We appreciate the opportunity a great deal. Thank you for having us, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon on that side.
Oh, we have one.
We have a question?
No, keep going for
All
our
right,
culture.
keep going.
Yes,
All right,
thank you.
no
Thank
problem,
you, Instagram.
no problem. Thank you,
Take
thank you
care.
so much.
We love
Take care,
you.
guys.
Bye.
All right.